Let's talk about lane splitting. This is mostly for people who have never done this before and feel that this is something that is very, very dangerous. Lane splitting is something that's accepted in a lot of the world, and it is legal in California. It was, to give you a little history, California's never had anything say you couldn't lane split. However, it was never actually defined in law. Recently, they changed the law. By defining what lane splitting is, they made it legal and not just not illegal. Utah does filtering, and a lot of the world uses filtering, which essentially just says you can move forward between the cars when the cars are no longer in motion. In places like India, Colombia, where I've ridden, a lot of that traffic is more filtering than lane splitting because of the speed of traffic and the amount of delays. It's not as dangerous as people believe. And this chat is more to those who have never done lane splitting before and feel that this is crazy. First of all, statistically, what they found by the studies in California is you're far more likely to have an injury accident if you are in an accident not lane splitting. They found that riders who ride between the lanes are more likely to be regular riders, to wear gear, and the likelihood of having severe accident is lower. I'm going right around 50 miles an hour. This is the speed that I drop back into traffic and I no longer split. What they find is that if you are lane splitting below 50 miles an hour, your accident rates are down, and it doesn't go back up until you're lane splitting over 50 miles an hour. Although even with that increase in accident rates with lane splitting, I'm not sure if you can hear the GPS going, but not only does the accident rate go up, but it doesn't actually go up more than when you're not lane splitting. So even in the most dangerous, statistically, the most dangerous time to lane split, you're still not as dangerous as sitting between the bumpers on the cars. I know my head's bobbing around quite a bit here, and that's only because I'm constantly watching my mirror, not only for other vehicles, but also motorcyclists. And what I'm always watching for is I'm looking in the mirrors for the right, this driver in front of me. Are they looking in the mirror? Are vehicles moving, or are they staying in place? In this case, you'll see these cars aren't actually moving to let me through. Mostly they're going to expect me to be in the left-hand lane. They're not watching their mirrors as much. But I'm looking in their mirrors to see their faces, to see if they're paying attention, if they're talking, if they're on the phone. I want to see how distracted they actually are. And that's going to give me some idea is if it's safe or comfortable to pass between those cars, to actually lane split. Once you get into this far left, then you'll see vehicles start to make space. That van in front of us, this one here on our left, right there, Affinity, thank you, moved aside as soon as they saw the bike coming through. Also following a local like this, he'll basically part ways, far more likely to get vehicles to make space as I go through. Turns out there's a saturation point in traffic that's exponential. And as traffic becomes more condensed, everybody slows down at an exponential rate. Pulling drivers out and putting them on motorcycles and incentivizing people to ride motorcycles helps everybody get home sooner. Because if you've never done lane splitting before, and this is something you want to do, first of all, I recommend starting at very slow conditions. Basically stop and go traffic, 20 mile per hour traffic, 15 mile per hour traffic. Don't go excessively faster than the other cars, especially when you're new to this. Maybe 10 to 15 miles per hour is what most recommend. I certainly generally don't go over 20 faster than traffic, but that's kind of on the higher end, and if you're comfortable and very skillful. The first time you start doing this, it's going to be uncomfortable because it's new, but also I'm watching these vehicles to see how much gap there is. She's drifting a little. They're a large vehicle. She's not really paying a ton of attention. I'm not in that big of a hurry. I'm doing 50. Here's my conclusion, guys. If you decide to ride in California or a country where lane splitting is accepted, take your time, watch the locals, see how they ride through traffic. Take time to read the traffic, start slow, be skillful, pay good attention to motor or the vehicle behaviors in front of you, if they're moving around, if they're paying attention, if they're spreading. Look in the mirrors, see if you can see the drivers. Look in the rear view mirror. Look in the back window and see if there's one driver or multiple people. See if they can see hand gestures. Are they talking? Are they just paying attention? Are they talking to somebody on the phone? Are they talking to somebody next to them? You know, and really take it at a cautious step until you get comfortable. It's a very safe thing to do. It allows us to have strategy, options, and abilities that we can't do in normal traffic. I'm a huge supporter of lane splitting. I'm a huge supporter of lane filtering. Do it responsibly, do it respectively, or respectfully. Do it respectfully and leave a good impression on others around you that motorcyclists aren't a bunch of jerks.